Hi everyone, happy Monday and welcome to this week's video. So for this week's topic, I wanted to go over seller reports in DeltaNet. So I will show you guys where to find seller reports in DeltaNet, how to set them up, and why they're beneficial and why you guys should be setting them up for all of your listings. So to get started, let's hop into DeltaNet here. I'm going to share my screen. So once you are in DeltaNet, you are going to come over to this left-hand rainbow column and select listings. From here, we're going to select the very first option, which is active listings. And that is going to bring you to this page that you guys are currently seeing. And this just lists out all of your active listings. So to set up a seller report, we're going to want to select the green Tools button alongside whichever property address you are wanting to set up a report for. So for our example, let's use Southeast 31st here. So I'm going to click this green Tools button, and this just pulls up a pop-up menu for us to choose from. And we want to go to this middle option here labeled Seller Reports. So right now I can see I have none set. But once you guys set up one or two or however many, there will be a number. It'll say, one seller report set up. For our example, we don't have any yet. So let's go ahead and click where it says none set. And that is going to bring us to this listing traffic reports page. So on this page, we've got two options. We have set up a report to a seller if you want to send this directly to your seller, or we have set up report just to you, the agent. So I'm going to go through both of these options and show you how to set up a report either way. And either way, it takes under 5 minutes, so it's super easy to set up. So let's get started. To set up a report to a seller, let's click this button. And this is going to take us to a setup wizard, step 1. So the very first step here is going to be typing in your client's information. So I'm going to use my info here as an example. And once you have this typed in, you'll go ahead and hit this green button, next step, which will take us to step 2. So in here, it'll say sellers found, and you'll be able to check the box to verify that's who you want to send it to. And if there's no match, you can just select this no sellers matched, and then you'll be able to continue on. But since mine did pull through, I'm going to check this box and hit next step. From here, we are on step 3, and this is where you guys can customize a little bit the seller report. So this send to button is actually a drop-down menu with a couple options. So you can send it to agent only, seller only, or seller with a copy to the agent. So I would suggest going with this third option here, just so you guys know what is being sent out. It's also a good notification. Once you receive this in your inbox, you know that your client has also received it. So you can send a follow-up text, email, or call, seeing if they want to chat about this report. It's really nice to use as a talking piece with your clients. So if we keep going down, the next option here is additional recipients. So you can always type in another email address here if you want to CC somebody on the report. The next option is additional notes. So you can type a quick note or short comment in here. And you can see this little side note down here. It says these notes will show up on this specific seller report. So if you type in a note here for your seller, it's not going to apply to a different seller report you've set up for a different listing. If we keep coming down, data template, I would leave this as none. Send on, you can always choose which day you'd like this to send on if you guys have a preference. And same with frequency. You can do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And you'll notice weekly is the least amount of time. And there is a reason for this. And I will show you guys in just a little bit why that is. The last option here is going to be initial send date. So you can come in and if you just select inside this box here, it'll pull up a calendar where you can choose, which date you want it to initially send on. So when you're ready, you'll go ahead and hit finish. And that is going to save everything for us. And if you want to come back in to make edits or anything like that, you can certainly do so by coming under this Actions button and Modify. So you'll see this little pencil icon. If you select Modify, this will allow you to come back in and make any changes to what we just looked at. And you'll notice there's also this Override System Defaults here. And this will make more sense once I show you guys the example that is sent out. But you can determine price minimum, maximum, all kinds of different criteria down here that you want to either be included or not included in your seller report. So if you've determined any of these outside of the default here, make sure you hit finish at the end just so it does save those results for you guys. But let's go back up to the top, and I'm going to come back into active listings. And I'm going to go back to tools here for this very first listing. And now you can see I have one report to agent and seller. So we've got one report that has been set up. I'm going to click on the listing again. So for the first one, I showed you guys set up report to a seller. Now we're going to do set up report to just you, the agent. So if you select this blue button, you can see we have this little green banner telling us it has been successfully added. And then you can see here, it's got Patrick's name, his email, the status, it's sending to just him, and the send on date. And then we've got the same options in here, send now, send preview, history. Right now, if I were to click on history, nothing would show up just because there's no report history. So if you wait a little bit for the tracking to kick in, this will then show a history of emails that have been sent out. But since we just set it up, there is no report history for us to view. But that is how easy it is to set up the report to just you, the agent. All I had to do was click this button and boom, it's already set up. And this is a really, really great option. If you send it to just you, this gives you a chance to go over the data, view it, kind of formulate some responses or comments, and then you can forward it directly to your clients with a quick note saying, hey, here is a traffic report I created for you guys. Let's set up a time to talk through it. So again, it's a great talking point, and you can really use it to follow up with your clients to show them what you're doing, how their listing is being viewed, where it's being viewed on their agent website. And this also is a great opportunity to, sit down with your clients and see where you guys can improve. Do you need to adjust price? Do you need to do more marketing? It's a good place to sit down, look at the data, and see what needs to be updated. So now that we have gone through how to set up the report to a seller and the report just to you, the agent, there is one other piece on this page I want to show you. And it's kind of small, which is why I want to point it out. So right here, where it says click here to customize the default template, this is going to redirect you to a page where you can change some of the settings. So let's click on this button. I'm going to hit OK. And this is going to redirect me to a new page here labeled email messages. So once you're on this page, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. It's going to be the second to last option on here. So seller report options. If you select this little blue drop-down menu, it's going to open up some more options for you guys. So you can see this kind of greenish bar that runs across. It says, notice seller reports with the partial week stats will not be sent if you're using template 3. And the reason that is let me show you these real quick. So template 1, you'll see just lists the data out in a table format. Template 2 lists it in a very similar format here, just kind of listed out in a table here. And then template 3 is actually going to pull that data and create these bar charts for you. So in order to have enough data to create these bar charts, the system needs at least a week's worth of data and variables to produce these for you. And that's why there is this note at the top, just letting you know if you set it up on a Monday and your listing just went live that day, there's not going to be enough data to send out to your clients. So it's going to wait until the following week when it's had enough time to pull that data to create this report. And as another side note, template 3 is the default here, but you guys are more than welcome to come in and select template 2 or select template 1, totally up to you and your preferences. But to change what shows up on the report, you can simply check or uncheck these boxes. For example, enable pending listings section. So there's a section on the seller reports that will show pending listings that are similar to your property. If you don't want that to show, you can simply uncheck and it won't show up on the report. And you've got a bunch of different options. You know, we've got competing listings, pending listings, sold listings, open house. There's include search engine web crawler views. And this is going to show any views from bots on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So this isn't necessarily a person visiting that site. It's Google or Yahoo when it's pulling, it searches if it went through your site at all. So again, feel free to check or uncheck any of these options, as well as which template you want to include. The last little section here is this seller report add section title and content. And right now I just have test typed into these boxes, but what this is going to do is if you select template 3, this will allow you to type a note above the template. However, this note is going to apply to every seller report that you send out. So if you do put something in here, make sure it's generic enough that it's going to apply to whichever seller report you send out. You know, you don't want to come in here and say, "Hi, Jessica," and then anytime you send a seller report out, whether or not it is set up to me, it's going to say, "Hi, Jessica." So you'll want to make sure if you set this section up that it's pretty generic. And again, another way around this would be to set up the seller report to you, the agent. So when you get it, you can review everything, forward to your clients, and include specific comments about that report to your specific clients. But if you make any changes on this page, be sure to come down and hit Update Traffic Report Template. This will save all of the new pieces that you have selected and make sure that they are applied for the seller report. So if I scroll back up, I am actually going to hop into an example seller report here. So this is one for the same property that I was just setting up with you guys, Southeast 31st. And this is going to be template 3 here. So you can see it says weekly sellers report. It's got a picture and it's got the property info. It's also going to have your agent headshot and your agent contact info here. If you scroll down, we've got some bar charts of search result views and listing detail views. Keep coming down. We've got stats based on website views. So it's going to pull through ColdwellBankerBain.com stats. So it's only pulling through stats from your agent website here. If you guys were interested in pulling from other websites like Zillow and Trulia, I would suggest using Google Analytics. But for this example here, it's going to pull through ColdwellBankerBain.com stats. So it's got search results. There's 30 search results, 590 detail page results, and 12 bot views. So again, search results is going to be anybody who was on ColdwellBankerBain.com who did a search. Detailed page is, you know, the listing page. It's going to be your landing page specific for your listing, where it's got all your property photos, all the property information. That is going to be your detail page view. And then bot views, again, this was going to be the search engine views right here. So if you keep coming down, we've got click stats. So we can see Patrick has a virtual tour in here that has been clicked on 32 times. And for this example, I left all of those boxes checked just to show you guys as an example. So new competitive listings, it's pulling through similar listings and basic stats, or not stats, basic specs for that property, you know, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, year built, price, and list date, just so you can compare with your listing. If we keep going down, it's got recently pending. Keep going down, and that is the end of this report. But how this would be very beneficial is if you scroll up, you can always come in and type a message to your client. So you can say, hi, Jessica, you know, here's a report of your listing. Give me a call so we can chat about these results. You know, you can keep it short and sweet, something like that. But by sending this to your client, you are showing them how you are making their listing visible, all of the work that you're putting into it, as well as the results that are coming from that. And this report, again, is a great talking point with your clients. You can use it to show how effective your marketing is, or maybe point out where you can improve on your marketing. You know, it's a good talking point regardless. So again, let's hop back into DeltaNet quickly, just as a recap. To find seller reports, you're going to come over to the listings tab and then hop down to active listings. From active listings, select the green tools button, and then you're going to select seller reports here. And you guys can see, since we've set up multiple, it's going to display both of them. But if you click on this box here, it'll redirect you to the page where you can set up to a seller or set up to just you. And the setup to report seller, there's 3 quick steps. That's it. And the setup report just to you, you simply just have to click this button and that's it. So very easy to set up and very beneficial to send to your clients and use as a talking piece. But if you guys have any questions, please reach out to your regional for your area. And we will be able to help get you guys set up on these or go through any questions you may have. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.